Alright, good morning everyone. It is a chilly Thursday morning and I am out here today because the forecast called for fairly low winds, single digit winds, and moderate temperatures and clear skies. Forecast actually said sunny, not partly cloudy, not mostly sunny, just straight sunny pretty much all day until late afternoon. But right now there's a huge cloud bank over my head. I'm not sure if that's going to break up, but it certainly isn't what the forecast called for. But as you heard me say many times, that's no surprise. So right now I'm on my way to Beacon 42. I'm going to launch there, and my plan is to head over into the eastern coal control and have a look around. It's cold this morning, but it's warming up fast. Like when I left the house, it was 48 degrees. Right now it's 55. So I actually donned my heated vest this morning, but given that it's 55 already, I doubt that I'll wear it out on the water. But so that's the plan today. I'm going to get out. It really looks like it should be a very nice day, nice wintry day, which I've been looking forward to. I just don't know what the water conditions are going to be like. I haven't been out, so I don't really know where I might find fish. So this is more of a scouting trip. And let me just quickly touch on, I haven't been out. I think the last video that you guys would have seen would have been, right after Ian, me driving around and looking at all the ramps that were closed. And I have not been out since then. And for one, I got sick. And no, it wasn't COVID. Every time anyone gets sick, everyone thinks, oh, COVID these days. But no, it wasn't COVID. I've never tested positive for COVID, never had COVID. It was just a regular cold, but unfortunately, we had some really great weather, really, nice days with clear skies, just, perfect conditions to be on the water. And I was sick for quite a few of those. And then last weekend would have been a good weekend to get out, but I actually was in Homosassa for the annual Geener rally. So I went over there for that. And then my other excuse, and yes, I'm making excuses, but this is a big one. My wife and I right now are in the midst of opening another business. So I don't have a lot of time, honestly. So even getting out today is a bit of a stretch, but I just felt like I was getting sick of not being on the water and needed to do it. So so a lot going on, but I'm looking forward to getting out and kind of doing some exploring and hopefully figuring some things out and finding fish. Again, I don't know what the water is going to be like, but I really would like to throw the fly rod a lot, especially if the water is starting to clear up. So anyway, we're just going to get out and see what happens, and hopefully it'll be a decent day. So I will update you as I get going here. So talk to you then.
Alright, well, that ride over here was less fun than I anticipated. I knew the winds coming out of the north like that, the open lagoon down here on the south was going to be rough, but both of my cameras got dislodged. I've never seen the back one just flat out come off before, so that was new. But thankfully the tether kept it attached, so it's still there, and I'm filming with it. Hopefully it works. And the front one, it didn't come off, it got knocked over, so I got no footage probably of the last part of that run. But let me see if I can clean up the lenses and dry the boat off a little bit and then get to it. Okay, one other comment before we get going. These glasses are brand new, free replacements from Costa. So this is was a 13-year-old, no, I'm sorry, a 9-year-old pair that I purchased in 2013. They broke in 2016. I had them replaced once. At that time, it cost me $25 to replace the pair. And the nose piece cracked and came apart, so I sent it back in. Didn't even have to pay for shipping. 100% free this time, so I gotta give Costa props. They did a great job. Got a brand new pair of the exact same glasses at no charge. Terrible water quality, especially with this inconsistent sunlight. And that being said, I do remember the last time I came through here, I thought it was terrible then too. So we'll see. Once I get to the end of this little bay, I remember it cleared up the last time. So we'll see if it's just this bay or if it's everywhere. Feels like my only hope for seeing fish is right along the shoreline, within 5 or 6 feet of shore. It's the only place where the water's... There's a redfish. Yeah, that kind of sucked because I lost sight of the fish. He didn't seem like he spooked, but you know, the water's so dirty that I couldn't see how he reacted to the lure. So I have no idea whether he was interested, he just wasn't interested. I mean, that's what it's all about. You got to see how they're reacting to your baits, and so you know what to do. And in that case, I couldn't tell. For all I know, he just never saw it, both casts. So, all right, just... right up against the shore. I want to throw this open hook into there. Give me this guy. Got him. Wow, that took enough. Jeez. That's a nice fish. Darn. I have the net set up, so. Okay, we got him. Whew. All right, not the most graceful landing, but he's in the boat. All right, took a lot of time and effort, but I finally got a nice redfish in the boat. So, what do you think? 23, 24 maybe? That's what I'm guessing. Alright. And even though the water's terrible, I wish I had had the head cam on because, you know, I cast to him at least half a dozen times and he was pretty visible. So he was right up against the shore. Which I said earlier, my only hope of seeing him was against the shore, so it's just too dirty out here. Alright. So, I know I didn't have the hat camera on, which was unfortunate, but I can tell you, you know how earlier I was complaining I could not see the fish, so I couldn't see how it was behaving, whether it was interested, whether I needed to change baits. Well, that fish My problem was getting it close enough to him where he could see it, because this water is still not very clear. But once I got into a position where I could kind of work it past him, it was probably 8 or 10 inches to his right. So once I started working it, I saw him see it, and he turned immediately to it. But he didn't charge up and pick it up. He waited for it to go past him, and then he literally charged after it for 6 or 7 feet. Like, I had to keep working it, and he just raced after it, caught up to it, and ate it. So he didn't want to run into it. He wanted to chase it. Oh, wow, we got a launch. But I cannot see it for all the cloud cover. But I sure can hear it. A nice redfish. Oh, oh, yes. Oh shit! Don't come under the boat. Oh. All right, come on, wear yourself out a little bit. All right. It's a nice looking fish. Bigger than the last one. If I can get him in here. Sweet. A little bit of sun makes a huge difference. All right, here we go. Redfish number 2. I've only seen maybe 8 or so. This is a nice guy. He's a little bit bigger. He's probably 25. 4 spots. Really healthy looking fish. So really appreciative to get this, especially in these conditions. It's just so windy. Not much sun, so barely any visibility. And so far both of the fish that I've caught have been sight fished. So pretty darn cool. This certainly isn't the day that I wanted, but I'm happy with it so far. Those are 2 nice redfish, and I'm seeing some fish. I'm content. Oh, and let me just point out that on that last catch, that fish again, different lure, but again, he waited for it to go past him, then turned and chased it down. So both of those weren't ideal scenarios in that I kind of had to set the hook while the fish was facing me, but they were close enough that I was able to set upwards, which made the difference. Look at that raccoon. There's not enough water up there for the redfish, that's why they're not up there. That's like ankle deep on that raccoon. It is rough out there. Really too rough for me to be out, but as long as I stay back with some cover, I'll be all right. Looks like some manatees over there. So, like I said, I'm going to fish a little more. Try to stay out of the worst of it, but it's still pretty windy. And I'm kind of chilly. My shirt got a little bit wet, so can't put in too much more time. I still got to get back, and it's getting worse. So Alright, this is just too rough. And there's no visibility. Water's very dirty. It's not even shallow because the water's deeper than normal, so I can't see a thing. I don't see any openings in the cloud cover coming anytime soon. So I guess I'm going to tuck into these islands and fish some of the, leeward sides a little bit and then get out of here because I just can't do it in this. It's too rough and I can't see. If I was soaking bait, that would be one thing, but trying to actually make presentations and sight cast, not very feasible. What? I thought he was going to get it. Dang. I would have never seen that guy if the sun hadn't been out. That's how important it is. Man. He still had a really hard time seeing my lure. Come on. Holy. Redfish number 3. Man, it's kind of a Hail Mary there. All right, one more. This is the biggest one yet. 25, probably 26. You can put a measurement on him real quick, but it's not really that important. But he's a good sized fish.
Alright, I made it back. It was a lot rougher than expected, so making it back wasn't a sure thing. I'm kind of joking there, but still, it was pretty rough. And, the forecast didn't do what I expected. They called for sunny skies, and we got mostly cloudy. Low wind, single digit, and we got 25 plus probably. And coming out of the northeast, honestly, rather than west, so that made the southern lagoon, the opening of the lagoon, extremely rough. But besides that being kind of disappointing and not really being able to do what I wanted, the day was okay. I mean, considering the conditions and everything, I probably saw, I don't know, let's just say somewhere in the neighborhood of a dozen to 15 redfish where I was actually able to see them. But, I had to focus on extreme shallows and the shorelines because there was no way I was picking them up in any kind of water depth. When the sun did come out, water quality wasn't great. It was so passable, but honestly, you know, more than like 2 feet deep and you wouldn't be able to see anything, even with full sun. So conditions weren't that great, but I did manage to land 3 consecutively larger reds, all slot fish. I didn't measure any of them, but I know that they were in the 22 to 26 inch range, all 3 of them. And so they were really nice fish. And I hooked up another couple, but didn't get them in the boat, you know. And I mean, honestly, the only really downside to the day, besides it being rough and, you know, what I already said, is that I didn't get to throw a fly. I really wanted to do that today. That's why I picked this day, because everything looked right, but it just wasn't going to happen. It was just either not sunny enough or too windy. But anyway, the day was okay. I'll try to get back out pretty soon and you know, see what I can do when it's not so windy. Hopefully we get some better conditions and I can find some areas with a little bit clearer water. So until then, everyone take care, and I'll talk to you soon.